6 motorcyclists implicated in New Kingston robberies arrested. Investigators in the St. Andrews Central Division have arrested males, including minors, who they say have been allegedly involved in a spate of robberies using motorcycles. They say the suspects were picked up in 3 separate incidents: on Holdope Road, Halfway Tree Road, and in New Kingston in St. Andrew, and 3 cell phones, handbags, and other items were seized. The police say the ongoing operation began on August 4. They say 2 of the males have so far been charged with robbery with aggravation. However, their names are being withheld as all 6 are to face an identification parade in relation to other similar cases that are under investigation. Investigators are asking victims of robberies, especially in the New Kingston area, to contact the St. Andrews Central Criminal Investigation Branch at 876-926-8184-5 or 876-926-2551. Additionally, the police are asking victims to cooperate with them in the event they are called to identify perpetrators. Cornwall College head boy says Zozo helped him to smash Cape. Rashawn Stewart, the outgoing head boy of the St. James-based Cornwall College, has said that the declaration of his Mount Salem community as a zone of special operations Zozo has contributed to his success in the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examinations, CAPE. The Zozo might have helped improve my opportunities for studying. There were times prior to the implementation of the Zozo that my studies would be interrupted due to the barrage of gunfire, so I had to duck and take cover to avoid getting hit by any stray shots and that kind of thing. So the implementation of Zozo calmed that a bit, Stewart said. The 18-year-old, who has been accepted to the University of the West Indies, Mona, to pursue undergraduate studies, attained grade 1 in biology, chemistry, physics, integrated math, Caribbean studies, and a grade 3 in pure maths. The aspiring doctor said that while the journey had sometimes been challenging, his faith in God had brought him through. There were times when studying that I found that my eyes just began to water while staring at the pages, and I would reread the same paragraph 10 to 20 different times and still feel like it wouldn't stick at all. So in those times, I would put away studying for a while, Stewart said. I would read a psalm, probably sing a little hymn or so, recalibrate, and went right back to it. Stewart said his success came out of his desire to rise out of his current situation, having grown up in the violence-prone community on the outskirts of Montego Bay. While he still faces his own set of challenges, Stewart had a message for others seeking to find success. I believe that it is imperative that while we retain faith and hope for a better tomorrow, the fact is that in this life, there will always be ups and downs, but it is important to remain optimistic. Hard work does pay off, and with faith and utmost belief in self, every dream can be actualized, he said. Cop thanks couple who saved his life. Constable Merrick Nelson said his life was saved because of a swift decision by a woman and her spouse to transport him to the hospital after he sustained serious injuries when he was involved in a motor vehicle collision along the Spanish Town Road in Kingston on October 19 last year. The woman, Suzan Foster, will on National Heroes Day, October 21, be awarded the Badge of Honor for Gallantry. In an interview in downtown Kingston, the cop said he had not got the chance to say thanks to both of them at once, and so with them being present, he seized the opportunity to do so. I am really appreciative of Suzan and Corey from that time until now, because honestly, with the amount of blood that I lost on that day, if I was there for probably a few more minutes, I would have been unconscious, and they took the time out of their day to assist me in getting up, placing me in their car and transporting me to the Kingston Public Hospital. Them never have to contact me, because them couldn't have said them just assist another person. But communication was kept, and we have become a family, said Nelson, who is attached to the Unspace police station in St. Andrew. Foster, who indicated that the award came as a surprise, said on the fateful day she was simply assisting someone who was in need, and she is urging others to do the same. Just imagine that the person who is lying on the floor is one of your relatives. That's the best way I can put it for you. And treat them just as though you would have treated your relative, your mother, your father, whoever it is. Darling fires warning shot at domestic abusers and the negligent firearm holders. The Firearm Licensing Authority, FLA, says it has been cracking down on rogue holders of permits who have not been paying due regard to the conditions of their license and is urging all persons to follow all prescribed guidelines. Among those in his crosshairs are persons who have used their weapons to threaten spouses, those who engage in illegal gun salutes at parties and funerals, and others who leave firearms lying around carelessly for children to shoot themselves or others. According to the FLA CEO Shane Darling, the agency has punished several persons for acting contrary to the conditions of their firearm permit or license. We have launched our enforcement and compliance drive, and we have provided a hotline for persons to call into the FLA to report instances of violence by licensed holders. Particularly in domestic violence, we encourage persons to provide information. We have written to the Chief Justice asking for information sharing between the FLA and the Family Court when our applicants are brought there under the Domestic Violence Act so that we can intervene. Since the start of the year, we have had around 3 murder-suicides by licensed holders. That is a cause for concern, as domestic violence issues continue to be a part of the crime problem in the country, Darling said last Friday. The FLA boss said there have also been instances where licensed firearm holders issue threats via social media to their own detriment. We have had persons who threaten others on social media and in text messages about shooting them. We have collected text messages from persons and carried out the investigations and have revoked several licenses, Darling said. Another matter of concern, according to Darling, is the access that many children have to legal firearms, some bringing harm to themselves and others when they find the weapons. He said that in such cases, the FLA usually revoke those licenses. There was one case in Trelawney some time ago where a father had placed the firearm under the pillow and the child took it out and shot the mother, killing her. There was the next case in Kingston where a child, whose father, a security guard, placed his firearm under the bed and the child shot himself dead, Darling said. We are very concerned about children having access to firearms, he stressed. Permit holders must have safekeeping. Persons must bring the firearms to the FLA or the police for storage if leaving the island, because we are having increased reports of theft from licensed firearm holders when they leave for overseas and leave the firearm at home, he added, pointing out that the FLA tends to be tough on persons who lose firearms. We take the issue of firearm theft or holders losing a firearm very seriously. When a firearm is lost or stolen, that means it has been diverted from the legal to the illicit. You have caused that firearm to go into the hands of a criminal and can cause problems for the country. If he or she did not take the necessary care to secure the firearm, we usually revoke the license, he said. Darling also sounded a warning to persons who take part in illegal gun salutes. As it relates to gun salutes at parties and funerals, we have been getting a lot of calls on the hotlines in the Christmas period. Our enforcement and compliance teams are on all calls to deal with those issues. We do take the firearms and we collect spent casings, and we have means of testing it to connect it to the license holder, he pointed out. Gun saluting is a very serious issue in Jamaica. When those bullets go up, they come down. We have had instances where people die because others discharge their weapons at parties. We had a case at Dam Head a few years ago when some persons were engaged in gun salute, and one of the bullets came down and hit a man in his head. 4 persons were arrested and charged, and we revoked those licenses for all of those persons who were involved in that case a few years ago, he added. American man charged following cocaine seizure in St. James. The narcotics police arrested an American man at the Sangster International Airport in St. James for breaches of the Dangerous Drugs Act on Saturday. He is 39-year-old Marquisa Lewis of Texas. The police report that Lewis checked in to board a flight to Houston, Texas, when during screening, a white substance resembling cocaine was found concealed in a wooden carving inside his luggage. According to the police, the drug weighed approximately 1 pound and has an estimated street value of $750,000. He was subsequently charged with possession of cocaine, dealing in cocaine, and attempting to export cocaine. He is scheduled to appear in the St. James Parish Court on Friday. Richard Biles takes over as BOJ governor. At exactly 8 a.m. yesterday, August 19, Richard Biles entered the offices of the Bank of Jamaica to start his tenure as governor of the Bank of Jamaica. Biles replaces Brian Winter to become the 12th governor of the central bank. Previous to his appointment, Biles co-chaired the Economic Program Oversight Committee (EPOC), formed to monitor Jamaica's performance under the International Monetary Fund Agreement. Biles was also the chairman of the Sagicor Group of Companies and Red Stripe. JTA recovers almost $40 million of funds stolen by former employee. The Jamaica Teachers Association (JTA) has recovered some of the funds that were stolen from it by a former employee. For more than 6 years, the Jamaica Teachers Association has been battling to recover the money defrauded by its former accounts clerk Marlon Francis. Francis and his cronies defrauded the association of more than $95 million. The discovery was made in 2013. At the JTA's annual general meeting in Montego Bay, St. James on Monday, the association's leadership reported that last year it recovered 3 properties valued at almost $40 million. One of the properties, located in Chancery Hall, St. Andrew, is valued at $25 million. The JTA said a house is on the property and it will be developed to become an income earner. The other 2 properties, one in Cooper's Hill, St. Andrew, and the other in Twickenham Heights, St. Catherine, are valued at $7.5 million and $6 million respectively. The association is working with its lawyers to have them sold. The JTA said it is determined to recover all the funds stolen. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.